couple of YouTube channels, and Twitch, of course. Welcome to the Samurais of Sound roleplay workout. I am expecting a smaller crowd this evening, and I'm gonna give people a few more minutes to join in. I wonder if our email went out.
I just got it. So I got a email.
Okay, well that's something. Oh, it looks like John Carlos is trying to join.
Joy.
I'll email him the link.
I don't know what this character tracker is supposed to save to, but
It just saves to your browser right now,
okay.
so it won't work. Like it won't remember your settings across
Oh,
different
okay.
devices.
It's like, gotcha. Okay, like cookies or something.
Yes, it's session storage, just similar to cookies.
This will be refreshing compared to what was it, 7 people in the party last time? That was a mess.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how that was gonna go because there were a lot more people in the Zoom call.
Yeah. And I didn't know who was participating.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it sorted itself out, I feel, but yeah, that was a lot. That's what I was looking for. I'm kind of waiting. I'm expecting one of our educators actually signed up and expressed interest. Dorian Lockett.
I know that name.
He I know him as the voice of Lando Calrissian in some of the Star Wars video games. So that's pretty fun.
I feel like I'm in a Discord group with Dorian. I'm not sure. But the name is definitely familiar.
Good old Lando.
Okay.
All right, so I think we'll go ahead and get started. We might get some people joining partway through, but that's okay.
'Tis the evening. People be coming back from work and stuff.
That is true. That is true. All right, so I think you guys were all here for the last session. The party arrived at this enormous tree where a tribe of fairies lived. You guys were looking for... Oh, Vincent's here. Speaking of which... Welcome, Vinny.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course.
That picture.
Yeah, you like that?
You can't do that to me, dude.
Yeah, I
Reminds
can.
me of when I was younger.
Well, I figured that if I'm gonna play him, might as well give you all a visual.
Thanks. I needed that.
You want to see something better? Hold on a second. Have you ever guys heard of DeviantArt?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so they got this thing now. Okay. Let me see if I can figure this out. Background.
As
Here we
long as
go.
it's not AI.
Boom. I can't get the angle right, but yeah, you can do AI get like a picture of like exactly what you want. But this is the closest because apparently Sean Connery did play Robin Hood in a movie called Marion and Robin in
Oh,
1976.
yeah.
Yeah, closest thing I can get.
Classic.
Well, you know, if you're going to do it, might as well do it right.
True. And welcome, John Carlos.
Oh, hi. Um, Good to see you guys. So what are we doing now? So are we now getting sort of what an idea what our characters look like or something?
Austin's recapping.
Yeah. Before I do, I want to give you guys a link to a new character tracking user interface that I built that should help clarify what your character's stats are and what dice you should be rolling. So let me drop that in the chat because I don't think you guys will have access to the older messages. Let's see. Track your character. Okay, if you follow that link and if you're not logged in already, it'll have you log in. And if you are logged in, it'll take you to this character tracker that is part of the Voices and Choices framework resource. And you'll see that Laura went ahead and wrote down some notes about her character, which is great. I don't have a space yet for like generic notes, so that's something that that I could easily add. But you'll just write your name, your character's name in there, and I can't see any of this, but it's just for your record, for your records if it helps you. You can just type in your character name, how many sessions you've completed, not including the one that we're doing. So how many sessions you completed, and then that'll tell the system how many upgrades you get, and then you just choose your good skill and your bad skill, and then you can do your upgrades, and then you can hit that save button. It'll save in your browser. If you don't use mobile though, it won't quite work the same way. If you use the Kajabi app to access your membership benefits. Okay, so does anyone have any questions about that? All good.
So that's basically what we do right there.
Yeah, it's just another thing. It's just another helpful tool if you want to use it to keep track of your stats. All right.
That's
Go ahead.
makes a lot of sense. Oh, I just want to say that it's very helpful. I do enjoy that a lot.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
That's good to know. All right. So, last month, we during the adventure, we arrived at a tribe of fairies that lived inside this giant tree with this big nest on top of it. And the purpose was to check out to see if you could get some help from this red hawk in response to this growing threat from Silserpo, the giant serpent deity beast. And you made it to the Silver Council of Fairies, and you won their trust
After killing one of them.
after, well, you know.
What do you expect? They came after me, man. They came at me, bro.
It was a fair fight. Honestly, it was. I just find it funny.
You actually promised to help me if I couldn't handle it.
I did.
But I did.
Yeah, you know, it went the way it went, and it seemed like at the end of the day, everyone was fine with it. And you are still in the sort of canopy / throne room of the Silver Council, and around you, a soft wind is stirring through feathered vines, carrying the scent of sap and sun-warmed bark. Light is filtering down in golden shafts from above, until quite suddenly, it doesn't. A massive shadow washes over you. It glides across the woven walkways, and living thrones, like a tide. And for a single breath, it feels as if the forest itself is holding still. Then comes the sound, a deep, slow wing beat, powerful enough to rustle your clothes and send pollen drifting in wild spirals. Above the canopy, just barely visible through the canopy gaps, something immense wheels across the sky. A shape with burning eyes and vast crimson wings. It passes directly above the upper branches, blotting out the sun, and gasps erupt from nearby fairies. From one upper walkway, a young, dust-covered fairy bursts into view, skidding to a halt, eyes wide and wings twitching erratically. And he says, "It flew just right over the nest. Oh, gods, it was huge. I saw the shadows pass over the eggs, and they...
What was it?
Well, you've got to come see. If I didn't know any better, I'd say it was probably what you came here to find."
It can't be him. He was supposed to be dead.
I don't think they're talking about what you're looking for.
I'm making sure it's not him.
Resonetta and us are on a mission to find a big bird. So if it has big wings and is huge and is flying overhead, I'm pretty sure that's what he's talking about.
Are you sure it was not a dragon?
Oh, I mean, that's a good
I
point.
thought you were the expert that could tell us of any animal that comes our way. You're telling me you can't tell the difference between a bird and a dragon?
Well, it had feathers, so if that's any indication. And as it flew by, well, why don't you just come see for yourselves?
Is this a trick?
They are Fae. They are known for their trickery.
Well, roll charisma, Kree.
No! What did I do to myself? Frick. So I roll my d20 and then my modifier, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Not fail. Not one. That is so appropriate for me, too.
Become very suspicious of these fairies, and you might start to wonder if it could be a dragon as well, perhaps.
I start to sidle away. And I make a huge sneeze because the pollen's blowing in the air, and I'm like, these fairies have had it out for me ever since they took my guns. I don't like this place.
If these fairies dare to try anything, I will make sure that they squish like grapes. Besides, if they do anything, I'll make sure they're on the same level of trolls in hunting.
I have a question for the DM.
Yes.
So I can never say her name. Serotonin, Seraphim, the death lily that I shared with.
Oh,
Wait.
yes. Resonetta.
Resonetta. So I was curious because me and Resonetta have shared the burden of it, and she's not here tonight.
Mhm.
She's like 6'5", right?
Yeah.
As a thought, could it be that my strength will be halved because I took on the death lily? Like I go down one, but she's like in a comatose state because it's the first time she can actually, breathe and relax and kind of sleep. And I kind of like wrap her around myself like a backpack. And because we share the death lily, she feels weightless to me type situation.
Sure.
So it's like I lose strength. So I might have Kree hold my sword and my dagger and my gold, but I can still carry her like a backpack so that she can still be a part of the situation to protect her. Or is that like completely out of your...
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if Kree's okay carrying your stuff.
Kree, would you be a dear and hold this for me?
And I hand Kree my sword, my dagger, and my tome, and I look at her dreadly in the eye and I say,
Now, this to me is one of the more precious things in my life. You better hold this close to you, darling, and not let anyone else near it. Do you understand?
Well,
Look, you've already done me a favor by saving my life. This will save my soul. I prithee.
I did give up a favor to the Fade to get you this book, so I guess the least you could do is let me hold it for a little while.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay.
That way, Resonetta can still be a part of this, but, I'll protect her as we go further into the fray, as they say.
I'm in the back, looking around suspiciously, if everybody's going up to wherever this bird is.
Yes. So as you are ushered up further into the canopy, now over your head was this essentially giant woven nest that was sort of just perched atop this canopy of leaves. And the tallest fairy, who was sort of in charge of the proceedings during the end of the last adventure, her name is Virana. She rises and ushers you up this canopy, this narrow series of winding bridges that leads up to the underside of this great nest. It's this lattice of woven boughs and hanging moss. And she kind of finds this narrow gap in the weave, as it were, and kind of scuffles up, and then the shorter fairy, who kind of nervously made the announcement before, has followed as well, and she kind of climbs up after Virana, and they both disappear into this weave of branches above you.
How many eggs are in it?
Do you want to climb through after them to find out?
Well, no, technically I'm very suspicious, so I'm not going anywhere. I just hoped you would know and would share that information.
Well, I know, but you can't see it right now.
Okay. But the other fairy did mention there were eggs.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Is this the bird that you were looking for?
Who are you speaking to?
I don't trust it.
Can I make a perception check to see if it's the bird?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And yes, there are dragons that have feathers. You never seen a dinosaur with feathers?
It's fair.
Old man?
Nat 20.
Yes!
Okay, so tell me a
My
bit.
failure has been wiped clean.
Tell me a bit about your wizard character and how they might be going about this.
So Jerry, I guess he looks up into the sky or he's able to read the magic in the winds. I presume this is a magical bird of sorts.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And
you can
through-
immediately detect tracings of like ash, kind of presumably dusting off of its wings.
yeah. So there's traces of magic from that in the wind, and maybe I get some insight into the type of magic that this bird has.
Yeah, it's sort of this. Again, what you're detecting in the wind are hints of this magical ash that kind of disperses from the feathers as the bird flaps its wings.
Okay.
DM, can I roll for perception? I think I know what this is.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So perception is a D20, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a 17.
Wow.
What?
For Sean Ronnery.
Kids, I think,
Killing it.
kids, I have a hypothesis of what this might be.
Is it a phoenix, old man? Because it sounds like the ashes.
Oh, go. Yeah, very well, Vampy. You figured it out.
That's
I
what I
don't
was
understand-
going to say. He beat me to the punch.
Well, the thing is that, Vampy, you're over 150 years old. And I've never understood this. How am I old compared to you? You know, I mean, I am just a blip on the lifespan of you, right?
Mhm. Well, I never asked to be, as is cursed, to walk the earth again. I was technically supposed to die one day, and then this is what happens. And now, how to say it? This phoenix has either come here to kill me or has come here to kill this village. Let's make sure it is not a threat to any of us.
Are you
And
really that popular that everything tries to kill you?
well, let's just say I've been hunted out by villagers, I've been hunted by other vampires, I've been hunted by other succubus and incubus alike. Basically, if anyone needs me to hunt down any night creatures, I am the one they go to. If they need me to hunt down any sort of degenerate, I'm the one they go to. Vampires, witches, werewolves, succubus, succubi, you name it.
So
I can be.
the young fairy from before kind of pokes her head upside down out from this hole in the lattice, and she's like, "Are you guys gonna come help us or not? We need some help up here."
So we're going after a phoenix, I guess. All right.
All right, everybody, remember that the knights do not attack first. I know not all of you are knights, but that is our code. Don't go in guns blazing. I want my guns back.
You did see
I'll
that
show you some
that
guns.
Verena was carrying your guns.
Well, crap, now I have to go first. So I crawl into the nest after my guns.
I have a 6'5" fairy on my back, so I'm just gonna hang back and watch.
You can't see much from underneath this tangled mess of branches, so you're gonna need to have someone help you if you want to carry Resinetta up through.
I just remembered I have a levitation spell in my memory.
Nice.
Can I use that?
You can make a magic check, yeah. It could be, I guess for you it's charisma, right?
Yes, I'd use my charisma because I'm so charismatic. So that's my good skill. So I get do I add a D4?
So your good skill automatically gets you a D6
I get a
positive, but then you
D6.
got to roll a D4 negative because it's a spell, and spells are
Okay.
risky.
So,
Okay, so D6
Austin.
and then I roll a D4 for negative.
Yeah,
Okay,
and you
so-
always roll a D20 as well.
Right. All right. So, all right. So I rolled a 14. So if I roll a D4, then it's probably not going to be. And I rolled a 3 on a D4. So that's 11.
Okay, but what about your D6?
No, that was with the D6.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh.
rolled 14.
Okay, so after a few moments of concentration, you're trying to levitate through this dense, canopy, but then you just fall back, and Resinetta kind of just spills out next to you. She probably would wake up at this point, and is kind of just looking around, dazed.
Oops. My bad.
Just when we needed the Titan herself.
I pop my head back out of the nest. I'm like, y'all, I am not good with talking to things, people, or inanimate objects, so somebody needs to come up here and talk to this creature.
Well, I had such good luck with the werewolf. I guess I'll go. Vampy, watch for the big elf lady. Make sure she stays safe.
Mm-hmm.
Here I go. This is my climbing song. Climbing, climbing, climbing up the hill.
Whoever decides
into
to
the
follow,
branches.
and anyone can, Resinetta we can just have her own autopilot, as it were. You emerge.
Austin,
Yes.
do you want me to roll to become an owl, or can I just be an owl and also fly up there?
I think we had you roll last time, so why don't we just say you started out as an owl at this session, and then we'll see where it goes.
Okay.
So yeah, you can fly up out of the canopy and around and go over the nest. And regardless of how you get there, you're now standing within this enormous sacred nest, high in the living crown of the Verdant Throne, as it is called.
Standing, dude, I am
That's a new
perching.
thing.
The Verdant Throne being the name of like the canopy where the Silver Council holds court. And
Okay.
around you, in these ancient boughs, is cradled a vast basin woven from golden vine, feathers, and roots. And 3 enormous eggs are resting at the center. Each is as
Those
tall
eggs are
as a-
great omelet.
I'm as hungry as you are, but let's try not to get us all killed. We don't know what it's capable of.
Each of these eggs would be quite a mighty fine omelet. They're as tall as a person, and their gray shells are laced with this glowing red network of veins that's pulsing sort of like a heartbeat. And the fairies have traversed to the center of this nest and are sort of running their hands along the veins, trying to, figure out what's going on. And suddenly, the light changes. This canopy darkens. A massive shadow sweeps overhead again, blotting out the sun for a breathless moment. A deep wing beat follows again, rippling the branches around you. And you see it, the red hawk. And he's descending out of the sky like a comet, and his wings are drawn in tight. And this is far off across the forest. And this, you can see on this, almost on the horizon, this great beast past the clearing of trees is standing on this distant ridge. You can't quite make out what it might be, but it's this big beast. And with terrifying precision, the great red hawk strikes this beast, and its talons just sink into it, and it lifts the creature into the air. And the fairies are stirring. Verena, who had her blindfold on, is now taking it off. And as the red hawk turns to fly back towards you, from below it, the forest just basically explodes, and this serpentine shape launches from the treetops about halfway between you and the horizon. And it's this blur.
Wait, there were 3 big beasts?
Yeah, there's the red hawk.
Oh, God.
The one it picked up, and what's now
Another
exploding
snake-like
out of the
monster.
forest. It's this blur of green, black scales and flashing fangs. And this serpent strikes the hawk midair. And there's this shriek. And as they clash together, the hawk is dragged down out of the sky. And then both actually kind of vanish into the forest in this like big, violent tumble. And then
my.
everything falls still. And the eggs flare with this sudden red light, and then they dim to a faint glow.
They dim, huh?
So was that these eggs' mother or father that we just saw?
Probably a mother, if I had to guess. I don't know of any
Let's
bird
Stay-at-home
males
dads
that
are a
lay
thing.
eggs. Well, I don't. Well, that's true.
let's just say the animal kingdom is not known for having good fathers. And let's just say
Also,
this,
very true.
lions, on the other hand, they will take the other lioness's hair. They will take the other lion's harem, and they will kill all the babies that are of the other father.
Pretty gruesome.
Verena,
Yeah, well,
the-
we'll see what we give birth. So.
Verena looks at
Virgilius.
Virgilus. Can you say that?
Verhelius. Verhelius or Virgil.
And she's kind of just, her mouth's kind of agape with horror, and she's like, that was the mother. But sorry, we just got a message from Richie Tavaki saying, "Hi, Laura." I don't know what that
Hi,
means.
Richie. Good to see you.
Lost my train of thought there.
Where's
You
the
said
mother?
Verena was looking at somebody.
Yeah,
We lost the mother.
It was the mother, yeah. And she's
Mama bird.
Does that mother have a mate that's gonna go help it against the giant snake, or
we
Or
haven't
do we
seen.
need to fight a giant snake?
Do you think any of the
Not the
animals
one you're
care?
thinking of.
Do you think any of the animals have a loyal partner?
yes,
Animals-
birds do that. They do that a lot.
They're not penguins, sweetheart.
Maybe we should try to go shave her instead of just twiddling our thumbs.
Someone with whose character is skilled in the art of the natural world could make a perception check to see if it's likely that this hawk phoenix would have a mate.
Wait, by
I'm
definition,
an owl with owl
Right?
vision, so I can run that perception check.
Yeah. Okay. Penelope can go for it. Is literally an owl. flapping alongside
But
you.
can Penelope communicate the answer to the rest of us is the question.
I speak a bit of
I'm
owl.
sure it is not falling. All right.
Ooh.
Oh God. So I've got a 2 on the 20 and a 4 on the 6.
Ouch.
Oh no.
Is that a 2? Yeah, that's a 2.
Okay.
And
artistic
that
dice.
doesn't even take the risk into consideration. But so after scouring your owl brain, you don't know of any examples of phoenixes of this size mating for life and having a partner in that way.
All right. I guess I'll roll with my perception because technically I have echolocation, so I can see if there's a mate nearby in the area. So.
Sure.
So
What would it look like as you're preparing to do that?
Oh, I stride confidently over to what's her name, Verena.
Yeah.
Gimme. I need my guns.
She kind of like looks confused for a second and then looks down at her belt where the guns are dangling. She's like, "Oh,
I have to grab them, don't I? Because she can't touch them.
Yeah, yeah. There's like this like leaf kind of cradling the guns, and she's like,
give the tiny mountain gypsy her guns.
she's like, please take them if you're going to use them, but I don't think they'll be so effective at this range.
Do you want to die or what?
I will show you what I'm doing. And I like take the vines and like dust them away. I'm like, my grandfather would be so disappointed. All right, I fire one up into the air. There's no bullet. It's just literally magic that's been charged into it, and it makes this big reverberating boom that just like you see the clouds overhead kind of go poof, 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 poof in a big circle. And then I just stand there.
Fireworks.
Yeah, I just stand there and look at it for a second. Everybody's just like,
Get on with it.
All right, so
I'm listening.
make whatever skill check you would use for the magic of that, or if it could be dexterity, I guess, if you want, and roll with advantage because that was super cool.
Oh, cool. Thank you. That is 11 on the D20, 7 on the D10 since we're using the a dexterity modifier. And is advantage like normally the D4?
Yeah, it's a D4.
Okay, then I got a 4 on that one. So
All right, you're very safely
21.
over that, but you do need to roll for risk too for your.
Is that also a D4?
Yeah, it's a D4.
2.
Oh yeah, it's a total of 24. So this shockwave that you've sent through the clouds goes rippling on for miles and miles around you, and as you fire the gun, the first thing that you can see in the trees, in the middle distance where the serpent had struck from, you can see that the trees are kind of moving around where it, is evidently scuttling off, and which causes quite a stir because it's an extremely large snake. And then you can just detect the faintest signature of a bird that is relatively the same size, I guess you would be able to tell with your echolocation, and whose magic signature matches up with the ashy, fiery kind of particles that are in the air. But it's quite distant and evidently disinterested with what has been going on with its mate.
Useful.
But is in fact in existence somewhere.
Is the female bird moving? Can I tell?
It's been buried under this dense canopy of trees, and you can't really tell. But you can't see that anything has been moved. You can't make out any motion in the trees.
So I don't know if it's alive or dead. Okay. But we know the serpent is leaving the...
Yeah.
Okay. Good news and bad news. There is a mate. It's far away. I don't even know if it knows we're here. Bad news is I don't know if the hawk is alive, and at least the serpent is leaving the premises. So we should go check on that.
What kind of serpent is it? Is it a Jagus or is it a Hydra?
Where's the name? I think that might have been Silserpo, or at least some sort of avatar of Silserpo.
Wait, you're telling me that could either be or not be Silserpo?
Well, we did see it kind of half reincarnating in the cave, but we didn't kind of stick around to watch it finish. So I don't know what it looks like fully. And
So Serpo is
Resonetta
a great
knows,
name
but
for a
she's quiet.
snake.
We're going against a huge monster, and you have no idea what it looks like?
Hey, you signed up for this quest.
Verena kind of walks up to you guys and she's like, if I may, and although I don't use my eyes very often, in fact, I just removed my blindfold for the first time in many years, it did.
Don't look her in the eye, she'll take her soul.
Well, there's that too. And she's kind of looking at the ground.
You can't take the soul of the dead.
You know, Vampy, you should find out. Please, look her in the eye. Let's see what happens.
She says,
Please.
it did look an awful lot like, well, what the stories say Silserpo looks like to me. I was really
All right,
hoping to
we're
hear some word from at least some reassurance from the Red Hawk, but I don't know. It seems uncertain. And as she's talking, she's interrupted by this cracking sound behind her. And
Oh, no.
well, they say you got to break a few eggs. I hope that's not what's breaking.
Jerry. Jerry!
And she turns around and she's like, did one of you use... Oh, that must have been resonance magic.
Yeah.
Well, don't look at me.
Should I be leaving quickly? Or are you praising me for doing something good?
I'm not sure. We've never actually, seen what they look like as chicks, but I guess we're about to find out.
I woke up the babies, is what you're telling me.
One of the eggs is just like making these erratic cracks, and then you can hear like the pecking of a bill or a beak against the inside of the shell, and then a moment later, beak pokes out of the egg. And
Penelope, can you turn into a red hawk real quick, since you are a bird lady?
Otherwise, I think Resonette is going to have to become a Resin Mama.
I mean, she is a
It
pretty
seems a
dumb
bit more
mommy.
likely.
What's that? Because, you know, birds will do that thing.
Imprint?
Yes, that's the word, little one. Since you woke them up, you get to be mama. Go, go.
I never said I signed up
I-
for a familiar on this quest.
I
You
get
are the-
behind her and I
You
start
are the
pushing
farm
her
girl, so you be the mom.
gently
I
up
know
to
chickens.
I
the
concur
birdie.
with the dead guy.
Look, just think of them as very big yard birds, okay? Just go talk to them. Go.
I stare at the fairy. What do these things eat?
well, the Red Hawk ate giant worms. We had to send out parties of warriors to go track them down underground. So smaller worms?
made me crazy.
I don't know.
Are you telling us the truth?
Yes.
This is a silly question, Faye, but because I know all this is going on right now, but because the bird may be dead, and the phoenix resurrects, is it just that big bird coming back as a little bird? Being reborn?
I don't think so. I think it's its
As-
offspring. And as she's talking,
That's not how phoenixes work, Sean.
I don't know. I just wanted to. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
the bird, the first of the hatchlings, breaks through the shell of the egg, and the first thing it sees is Kree, who's been pushed to the front of the crowd, and
I'm so not okay with this.
immediately tries to and it's as big, it's much bigger than you are actually, easily 3 or 4 times your size, and kind of just begins to peck forward with frightening speed, like an ostrich, or as if it's trying to eat you. How would Kree react to this to avoid being consumed?
I do have pretty high. I usually have pretty high acrobatic dexterity to dodge. So I think Kree would probably try to sort of dodge and swoop around to the back of the bird's like head and neck area and kind of just latch on and grab it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Make it
to kind of like how you grab a kitten by the neck and it kind of just freezes. That's what I would try to do.
Sure.
Rampy.
Make a dexterity check.
I bet you 5 gold that she gets eaten. What do you think?
I'd say that she'd probably be appetizers.
This is not a betting time right now.
Good point. Make it 10.
16 on the D20 and then 6 on the D10.
Nice. All right, you're in the clear with a 22. And so now you are it hadn't quite like emerged fully from the shell, but as it lunged forward, most of the shell kind of broke away. And so now you sprang onto its back and are now is that what you said? You're kind of like riding
No,
it as a
well,
mount?
I mean, how tall is it? You said it's bigger than
very
me, but
tall. It's like
oh,
it's
so I had
taller
to
than
jump
a
up.
human.
I had to jump up to grab it by the neck, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
and you're just on
spread
top of it.
eagle, literally on top of it with my legs and arms around its neck. Great.
Yeah,
Spread eagle on the eagle.
And so
So
now
what
it's
do
just
you-
kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
like whipping around and realizes it can't go for you, and so then emerges from the rest of the egg and takes a step forward towards Andrew's character, who had been sort of meandering somewhere in the back. And as it does so, remind us, what would this bird be looking at? Andrew, what did your character look like?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I put in the character track your character link though.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We can't see that though.
Yeah, we can't see any of that information. It's just for
Oh,
you.
Okay.
Unless you put it in the comments, then we can all see.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna copy it and yeah. I'm putting it in
Magical witch.
and
Oh, wait, yeah, I need to refresh this page. I think you guys have been
oh,
commenting.
okay.
Oh, then it's already there. I see it.
I'll just put in the comments in the
Oh, yeah, I
meantime.
see it. Sorry, I didn't.
There
I
it
hadn't
is, yep.
refreshed. Yeah, I see John Carlos and Andrew have. Oh yeah, the magical witch. Yep, I remember. Original form, Nintendo Switch 2. Okay. Can transform into a human, is female, age 20. With a love of video games. Okay, yeah, maybe. We're sort of in like medieval times, you could say. Like it's a generic.
Like medieval games or
fantasy
something, but yeah.
set.
Chess.
Is she a time
Chess
traveler?
would be great.
Chess, mahjong, or something like that.
Sure, yeah. So this giant hatchling bird is lumbering towards you, and Kree is just kind of like clinging to its like neck.
I'm figuring it out. Hold on, just run
I
and dodge until I get this thing wrangled.
I thought you were farm girl, mountain woman.
So
Rodeo.
and what is your character's name, Andrew?
Tendo.
Tendo. How would Tendo react as this bird is approaching?
Oh, well, she would probably summon a spell to turn the bird to fried meat or something, like fried chicken or something, so
Oh dear. Okay.
No.
yeah.
I'm
but
not
she
sure
would
if
be
that's.
like, summoning, turning this creature into fried food.
Wow. Very forward. And you're welcome to do that. So the way that you would do that is,
Okay.
you would. Let me write your name down. You make a skill check. And what is your good skill?
Do I do the dice then or something?
Yeah, just let me know what your good skill is. Did you select a
Okay.
good skill in the character tracker?
A character tracker, the good skill.
Strength, dexterity, perception, charisma. It's at if you're on the page,
huh.
it's up the top there.
Oh yeah, I remember I saved it though. I don't
If
know
you
why.
click the load button, it'll load whatever you
Oh, okay.
saved.
Strength is 20%, like 20 or something. It's good. And for perception is bad.
Okay, so if strength is good, and then how many sessions has your character completed?
4.
Oh, 4. So did you turn that to 4 and then use all your upgrades?
I think. 2 main upgrades selected. You can earn 1 upgrade every 2 sessions. Complete more sessions to gain upgrade points.
Yeah, that just means you overspent, so you can just turn one of them down until it's not giving you that
Okay.
message anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there we go. It's 6.
For what skill?
Strength.
Okay, so if you're using magic to turn something into fried chicken, so what would your character? How would your character? If your character is a spellcaster, I don't think strength would really be their good skill. It would be either perception or charisma.
Yeah.
So why don't you go ahead and change that? I would deselect strength and choose probably perception to be your good skill. That's the skill that most people use for magic, right?
Yep.
So now that you've done that, you should be looking at like what, a D6 for your perception?
D6.
Yeah. So then that's what you're gonna roll alongside your D20, and then do that first, and then because it's magic, there's an extra
for
step.
D6, I got 6.
Oh, okay. And then what'd you get for the D20?
D20. D20 is 10.
Okay, so that's a 16, and then roll a D4 because it's magic, and magic is risky. This D4 is gonna count against you.
D4 is 4.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you actually ended
My
up
chicken lives.
with a 12.
I actually turned the bird to fried chicken.
No, because the D4 counted against you, your total was 12, which is one below the threshold you needed for this spell to succeed. So as you summon all your cosmic fried chicken powers,
Yeah, so much for Chicken Little.
the
Chicken Little. I
you can
remember that
feel
movie.
the feathers beneath you actually starting to heat up very rapidly. And it's as if you're starting to, it's like a hot surface, and the feathers start kind of smoldering, and as they do so, they actually grow considerably longer and fuller right before your eyes. And the bird suddenly looks even a little bit more mature than perhaps a hatchling should, but has no breading and is still alive. And
Am I still on this thing?
Hendo,
it's
do you have any
becoming
idea?
very hot.
Do you have any idea what a phoenix is?
You're supposed to do that, bird lady?
You're not asking me, are you?
No,
I think he
you're
was
not.
asking
I'm
Penelope.
an owl,
or-
not a phoenix. I do not know if they're supposed to spontaneously heat up. Woohoo.
They're not
And-
supposed to do that, I think.
Okay.
We could have
and
used iron.
I'm leaping off this thing at this point because my leather pants are getting toasty. So I do a little flip and land. Please don't make me roll for that. It's just leaping off.
You got a 22 on your previous dex. I'll say
Yeah.
it's fine.
Okay, thank you. I'm like, maybe it's just hungry and doing its normal, searching for food right after it hatches. We should probably let it do that and get out of its way.
What are you talking about? You're the mom now. You have to find the little baby some food.
I might have something in
tried
this
to
bag
eat
of
me the
holding I
first second
remembered
it
I
got.
have.
I didn't say it was smart. I said it was your baby. You should take
You
responsibility.
are making a big, what's that word?
What's
Mistake.
wrong with my...
Joe,
so-
you can make a perception check to dig through your bag of holding, or you can make a perception check to see if you had the forethought to bring something that would quell a raging beast, or however your character would.
Austin, do you
All
want me to roll again to swoop out for a quick hunt to catch a squirrel or a rabbit or something? Probably this baby is going to want something that's live and wriggling.
Absolutely, that would be a perception.
Please.
Look,
somebody
Yeah,
let's-
save
I'll
me
roll.
from
I'm
this.
gonna roll for my
argue.
perception.
Birds
Let's
are
not argue for the
that was a
chicken,
5.
Okay.
So I didn't find anything.
Oh, that was just a flat 5.
A flat 5, yeah.
Ouch.
Okay, yeah. You're digging through your bag of holding, and this bird is growing more agitated. It knocks you over onto the ground, spilling out various magical articles over the net.
Oh, I hope none of those are combustible.
I hope she doesn't.
That's probably a good point. There might be some
Okay, I've got
combustible
a
things
10
in
and a
there.
5, so I'm going to swoop up and try to hunt for something nice and fresh, like a good squirrel or something.
You
Yeah,
said
Thank you,
10, you said 10 and a 5.
Yes, please, Penelope,
10 and a
because so
5.
far nobody's coming down Chicken Little.
Okay, so as you soar down this tree that is much taller than the other trees, towering over the canopy, you perhaps get another vantage point on what had been unfolding between the various giant beasts, and you don't see anything stirring definitively in among the trees. So whatever happened to the Red Hawk seems to still be taking its toll. And what are you
Not looking to catch the Red Hawk, just a nice squirrel.
Understood. Understood. And you do find a nice plump one jumping mid-leap between the branches. You snatch it up.
I go up to the Phoenix, both hands out. Easy, Chicky, easy. It's okay. Mommy didn't mean to scare you. As I give death glares to Cree. She's a new mommy. She doesn't understand.
I am 17. I am not a new mom.
You are female. Start acting like it and calm the baby down. See? We're
So,
I don't
not
approve of gender
arguing.
roles.
So, Penelope, how would you save Sean from his scrape with this increasingly
himself?
agitated teammate? I mean, Little Phoenix also. He's kind of. What would you do? What does it look like as this owl bursts back onto the scene?
I'm just going to swoop around and try to sort of wave the squirrel in the baby's field of vision, and then try to kind of swoop around to drop the squirrel in its mouth, depending on what it's doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, in fact, as you emerged with the squirrel, it broke its eye contact with Sean Ronnery and began following you with its head. And as you got closer, it willingly received the squirrel, and then is just gonna try to is just scarfing it down essentially, hastily, and then kind of looks back at you expectantly, but not so agitated.
Well, that
I
helped.
move another squirrel. Should be a few more around.
Yeah.
Cree, I think we passed responsibility to the penny one.
She does look more like it.
I know, right?
If
That
there's
was
anything,
bullet dodged.
She
It
does
is.
have your eyes,
I
though.
look like an owl. Don't look like a phoenix. Give me a break. And in any case, I'm gone. I'm in the trees looking for another squirrel. And not moving my dice roll.
Okay, what's this bird doing at this point?
It
Yeah.
just creeps to the edge of the nest and looks down into the canopy where Penelope disappeared into.
I think Sean's gonna run over and start saying, No, not yet, baby, not yet. Just come back a little bit. Yes, look at Uncle Shawnee. Uncle Shawnee is okay.
Meanwhile, I'm still gathering my magical items.
That absolutely tracks. All my little nieces and nephews' favorite older person, the only person who can ever get the babies to be calm and go to sleep, is my irresponsible alcoholic uncle. So that absolutely tracks.
So are the other eggs doing anything?
The other eggs have not stirred, and Verena is with the other younger fairy, and they're sort of inspecting the eggs. But the red veins that were running over the eggs are still quite dim, and they're looking kind of nervously, and they look back at you, Kree, as you approach, and they're like, "Well," the Verena says, "It's wonderful that you seem to have a whole somewhat of control over the other chick, I guess. But someone needs to stay back here and keep an eye on these eggs. So
I can keep an eye on them
all right.
as long as I
but
remember where they are.
the second part of that is that I think we should send out a party to investigate the Red Hawk and see if it's still alive. I don't know. I haven't seen it moving."
Do we need to split up the party? I need to stay with the chick, and the rest of y'all
Well-
need to go figure out this bird situation.
I think
And
Yeah, ditto.
Oh.
Do I have to stop around here hunting squirrels all day?
we may have some worms in the reserve, and it should be easier because they don't need to be so massive. Why don't we stay back and tend to the bird, and you brave adventurers go out and see what became of the hawk.
Oh, thank
Okay.
God.
Speaking
I did not
of
want to
Fine,
help.
I'll come along.
speaking of that, while you guys were messing with Chicken Little, I figured out that the Phoenix's weakness is iron. It burns the Phoenix on contact, and not in a good way. So if the Phoenix tries to do anything against us, I think it's fair to say that these iron arrows will do us fine.
All right,
What
I'm
is
gonna
it,
have you
Elon?
make a perception check on your lore there to see if it's indeed this truth that you've
Accurate.
discovered.
Hmm.
It's because the only way we can kill a Phoenix is by ripping out its heart.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean that would probably that'll do it.
Yeah, I'll leave it dead.
Again, I don't think you kids know how phoenixes work.
And
But,
I thought the fried
Phoenix,
chicken might
Phoenix
work.
Eye, Phoenixes.
Phoenixes is
Phoenixes.
correct.
Phoenix.
I
Okay.
would know. I wrote a book on them.
Of course you did.
Then you should remember the book.
That's
I
the
didn't-
problem. I don't.
I didn't think you developed dementia at such an age, Warlock.
The case. the
My name is
chaos day.
Oldman. How would you think I have a good memory?
He did mention Nightshade. If you drink too much of it, your brain goes numb. Earlier.
Yeah, that'll happen.
JC, what was your role?
My roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to roll a perception check to make sure your lore is accurate.
Okay, so let me make the roll. Okay, so is it D2 or D1 die?
All right,
Uh,
so let's see.
D20.
Are you using the character tracker? Do you have that one open?
Yes, and
So
you said I've been
this
four,
would
4 or 5
probably
games,
be
right?
a perception. Yeah, I think you're up to 5. This would be a perception check. So whatever dice it says to use for perception. So what is that?
D4.
Okay, and then so roll the d4.
And I rolled 2 of those.
No, just one d4 and one d20. I guess probably start with the d20 because it's gonna be bigger.
So D4 is a triangle, right?
Yeah, d4 is the triangle. It's like a pyramid shaped die.
Mm-hmm. So I rolled that one. All right, so D4 and then D20. So roll these 2.
Mhm.
16.
Okay, what was the 16 total.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that is a pass. So yeah, you're definitely able to recall that iron is the hidden weakness of the Phoenix, and you can see that this bird is sort of cautiously glinting at whatever metallic objects Joe had spilled out over the nest.
It likes the sparklies.
No, it's cautious.
It's like Secret of Nim.
Good. We figured out its weakness in case it tries to kill us.
It's a baby. The size of a man. Of course it's going to try to kill us. But we are here to have to take care of it now.
And we're going to go find the giant snake monster, right? We're gonna leave the birds to the Fae.
Yep.
Honestly, I'm a little bit more.
We're getting out of here.
Yeah,
Pretty much, I guess.
that's
Bye,
what I
fairies.
gathered.
It
I
wasn't
did
pleasant.
gather all my stuff, I think.
Ready. Not really into cats and squirrels I can't eat.
As we're leaving, I'm going to be humming a little tune just, because I'm so happy to be leaving.
Sort of like your-
Can I do a perception check while I'm humming to see if the bird likes this? Because if resonance woke it up, I'm wondering, Laura is wondering if that has any effect on controlling this creature.
Yeah,
You
this
can
sort of
make
reminds
you
me
can
of
make
that,
a perception or a charisma check.
this sort of reminds me of that one scene from
Oh,
Shrek.
charisma's not
I
gonna
feel
work.
I feel like Kree's kind of
Better
like the
be
donkey of the group.
Better be perception.
What are you humming about?
Oh, I'm just happy to be leaving on a jet plane. 15 plus 2, 17.
You can definitely see that the bird is visibly relaxed. His eyes are like at half half slits, and it's sort of just listening and kind of like moving its head a little bit. Still looking.
Huh.
It's a pretty good tune.
Thanks. I
do
don't
a
know
little
what it's
jig.
about. I just heard it somewhere at a tavern.
It reminds me of that one song from that talking donkey. It wouldn't stop singing.
I'm not familiar with that donkey. So Kree kind of like notices and clocks that this bird is now calming down and doing this little like serpent dance with its head, and she's like, little notation, mental notation for that for later. That's all.
Kree will
Continuing on,
remember
we're
that.
leaving.
As you crawl back down through the nest and down the canopy, there's this staircase that's carved into the inside of the trunk that some fairies are ushering you down. And when you're at the bottom, it's the youngest fairy from before, and she says, well, my best guess would be that way. And she kind of points through the forest clearing. Shouldn't be longer than a half day's journey.
I mean, I know exactly where it is because I used echolocation, so I'm like, yep.
And she's like, well, if you need a map, and she's like trying to like give you a half,
Oh no, we don't want to owe you any favors, fairy.
probably wise. Well, I better get back to tending to the eggs now. So, best of luck to you. And then she disappears back into the trunk.
Wait a minute. I have
So
an
do
idea.
they owe us a favor for
I
doing
used
this?
it.
Well, go
Do
with
they-
the dinner, I guess.
I have an idea. Does anyone have a blood sample of the giant Fred Hawk?
Yeah, because we just got blood samples from it when it flew overhead. What are you talking about, Virgil?
She also just said she did resonation to know exactly where it is. So we are good to go.
Yeah,
Let
I know
the
where it
little
is. We're
one
leaving.
guide us.
Let's go.
To make sure that we are precise on it so it doesn't move. A heat signature of sorts.
Do you have a binding spell in your bag of tricks?
Oh, me?
I'm just asking, because like if you had a blood sample and had a binding spell to keep it in one place, that would make sense. But we're going blind and we're following the little fey thingy over there.
All I have to do is
Also,
just taste the
most
blood.
of you would have seen that the bird doesn't appear to be moving anywhere. It hasn't.
Yeah, the
moved
trees
from
would
its-
have like.
Yeah, it's a big bird.
It's huge, right?
It's a big bird. Yeah.
Let's go to the thing where the thing happened. What are we doing again?
All right, so
Terry.
the sun is halfway in the sky noontime when you leave, and after a half day's march through this dense woods with Kree in the lead, the sun is falling behind the horizon that you can't see because you're in dense woods, but it's sunset time, and suddenly this underbrush and this dense forest gives way to a scene of devastation, really. These trees are lying shattered in this wide ring, the trunks split and blackened. The clearing is scorched, and the soil's all churned up and dark with blood samples. And the air is thick with this tang of ash and wet fur, because at the center there's this massive woolly mammoth, and it's writhing under these ropes that are cinched around its legs and neck, and it's just crying out in this trumpeting sort of cry that's muffled by this sack that's draped over its tusks. And crouched around it is this band of humans that are scrambling with tools, driving metal stakes into the ground, and struggling to secure the beast before it can rise. And just behind it is this. You can see the head of this giant bird that's just on the ground. Its eyes are closed.
Oh, on the other side of the mammoth.
On the other side of the clearing, yeah.
Oh crap! I was
Just
just
the
gonna
head?
say, can we just like go around them?
That's all you can see is the head.
Oh, okay.
I think we should approach very carefully. Humans don't like to be disturbed when they're in the middle of their job.
Kree, as you're sort of assessing the situation, realizing that that there's not going to be an easy way around them, you notice that one of the there's a curly-haired woman who looks extremely familiar to you, and she appears to have noticed that you guys have entered this clearing, and she stops fumbling with the ropes and the stakes. She says, "Oh my! Is that Kree? Is that you?" And if this were to be someone who you recognize from your village, who might it be?
Oh, from my village. Okay. I thought maybe it would have been like my mentor at the academy. Where's my character description sheet? Oh my god, it's so far away. Hold on. I wrote a whole backstory, I swear. Okay.
More than I have.
Okay,
Because
so
you can't remember all that.
I was raised by my parents, but they have like, you know, the village patrol lady, for lack of a better word, was named Paula, and she kind of like gave me the itch to become an adventurer and join the Knights Order because farming.
Right. Yeah. Not for you.
Yeah, so if this is anybody that would have left the
Classic
village,
farm
it
boy
would
to
be Paula.
knight trope.
Yeah, that's perfect. So
Farm girl in this case.
we'll say the curly-haired woman with the crooked nose is Paula, and she's looking at you, and she stops fumbling with what she's doing, and she's walking over now, and around her the others sort of pause, and the woolly mammoth threatens to tear loose these bindings that they've essentially been putting on it. She says, "Is that Kree? Is that you?"
Paula? Paula from my village, from halfway across the continent. What? I didn't sign up for this today. I'm confused.
Well, I didn't expect to see you either, but well, how do I put this? It might not be the best time to talk. And she turns back, and this mammoth is just like bashing into a few of the people in her party, who are also townsfolk who you recognize, most all of them. And she's like,
Why?
she's like, could you give us a hand here?
Well, obviously. All right.
Time to fight a mammoth.
Everybody listen, this is my crew, these are my people, you do not be rude, do not go stabby. We are all friends here. I guess we help tie down the mammoth. And stay away from the bird's head, it probably bites.
All right.
And what exactly has this mammoth done?
It's attacking people.
Well, you would recognize it by this point as the beast that the Red Hawk had initially like been preying upon. When it was attacked by Silserpo. And as you get closer, you can see that it's all cut up, and one of its legs is like broken from the fall that it's had. So it's quite weak at this point. And
it's harvest time. We're just putting it out of its misery.
and how would
Can
you? Yeah, go ahead.
Can I try to make a cast? I'm going to try to cast either a sleep spell or of some sort on the mammoth.
Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. And so the tracker says roll a d10 on my good skill. I don't know if that's correct, but
do you use charisma for your spellcasting?
yes.
Yeah, so go ahead. Let's do the D20 first.
Right.
Bigger.
Right.
Let's just
So
do
let me
one at a
just do
time.
that.
It's easier
Yeah.
to keep track.
Oh, that's wonderful. I rolled a 3 on the d20.
Okay. Off to a good start. What's the skill die? So that'd be perception.
Charisma. On the tracker it says plus d10.
Okay.
So
I think it's time we put Dumbo out of its misery.
yeah, I
have the
agree. That's
best
what I'm trying
nicknames.
to do, but all right. And that's a 1. Okay. That didn't go well.
Okay. And then even with a 1 on the D4, you're looking at a 3 total. So evidently after falling out of the sky and landing and then being attacked by a troop of humans, it's not feeling very sleepy, and this mammoth is just lets out this trumpeting roar, and the sack that's been like trying to constrict its trunk just falls to the ground, and it lashes out at you and slams you against a tree,
Oi!
and your bag of holding just spills out.
Again?
Oh.
Jerry! Are you okay, Jerry?
Ouch! That hurt.
Maybe you can just stay back for a second. We'll take care of
Gonna
this.
take a nap for a minute.
Perhaps I would like to give it a
Your sleep
try.
spell does work on yourself.
that seems about right.
Epic. At least it didn't
To-
work on anybody else.
Sean observes this from afar and decides to quote Cree on this.
Yeah, that's a nope. That's a nope right there.
As I slowly back up and take cover while all this happens. Actually,
Y'all-
I will sneak around and actually check on the Red Hawk
Y'all are
while
just
you're all
chickens.
distracted.
Okay, who would like to help out with the mammoth?
Well, me.
Perhaps I will. It's already bleeding, so that's an advantage.
Yeah, Verhelius, how would you approach this? I feel like this is a good challenge.
Well, the elephant is already bleeding from its wound, so they want it dead, is that correct? Or do they want it incapacitated?
They didn't say exactly, but Kree basically told you it was harvest time.
Perhaps I might as well go on its neck, stick my hand through it, stick my hand through it, and drain it of its brains.
Whoa, okay, that's not what I expected. So what would that be, like some sort of magic spell?
Perhaps it would. And where would that fall under dexterity?
I could see the argument for that being, but it would be, since you're using magic, just remember you'll want to use a spell that you're really good at. So
Mhm.
what's your best skill?
Usually, how to say this, when the moon is out, it amps my physical and magical skills,
Okay, so
and makes me more lightweight as well.
we said it
because
was
dur-
around sunset, so we're not quite nighttime yet. So what's your best skill?
For now, during the day, I guess we would have to use silver arrows.
That should work. Yeah.
If I go for the ankles, it would struggle. So would that be strength or dexterity?
Dexterity. So start with
D4.
Start with your D20. Roll. Tell me what you got on the D20.
Mhm. 16.
Nice. All right, and then what is the what's your dexterity die?
D4.
Okay, so roll a D4.
Four.
4. Okay, that's a total of 20, and with a total of 20, your silver arrows are going to take out the remaining 3
Cartilage.
good legs of this woolly mammoth, and it crashes down on the ground, which is this charred, upturned soil, and with one last sort of just heaves a sigh, and then it only moments later it's the other humans just descend upon it with daggers and make quick work of it, and then
Thanks, Virgil.
You're welcome, little one.
So Paula kind of breathed a sigh of relief as well, and gives you a pat on the back, Verhelius, and then returns to Kree, recovering her breath. It's like, oh, well, now where were we?
Why are you here where we are?
Well, it's a long story, but essentially, one day we were minding our own business, farming things, harvesting things, growing crops.
As we do.
As we do. And this giant, it was the darndest thing, this giant serpent slithered out of the mountains, descended upon our village, and just crushed everything in its path. It was horrible. We lost a few that day, and we certainly lost all our crops, and the silo was busted, and basically, well,
Wait, what? Crips Crossing is damn.
it's
What?
it's more crypt than crossing now.
What about my family? What about the who died?
I don't know how to tell you this, Cree, but someone from your backstory who's very important to you. I'm so sorry. I don't have anything else to work with here, but
I
Was it
have.
her pappy? Don't tell me it was the pappy who gave her the pistols.
Oh, he's already dead.
Oh, never mind. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna check on the bird.
So we have two options.
Mhm.
It could either be
about
the dog I raised from puppyhood named Kitty, or it could be my on again off again rival, who I'd have to find his name in my notes, who was like, people kept trying to get us to hook up together, and I just kept refusing because I was a tomboy, and I was like, no. And he was the one who told me I could never be a knight. And yeah, so those are your two options from my backstory besides my parents.
well,
I vote
she
Kitty.
she kind of looks at you with these sad eyes. Listen, there's no easy way to tell you this, but that village cat who was always on the prowl, well, she didn't survive. And then you see this dog who's been just chowing down on the woolly mammoth turns around and seems to notice you for the first time and bounds over towards you and just jumps into your arms.
Kitty!
And then Paul's like, what?
It's not a kitty.
This is my dog, Kitty! She's the bestest dog there ever was. She is a good hunter, and she's a good snuggle pillow, and she knows how to swim, and I feed her treats.
Oh,
Good
well,
dogs deserve treats, that's for sure.
From the table. My mom hates it.
its maw is just dripping in chunks of woolly mammoth, and Paul is like, "What? Well, I'm afraid we don't really use tables anymore. They were all destroyed by the giant serpent."
Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry. I just got excited because my dog is here, and I'm all tore up about that stray cat that I didn't know very well. I'm sad to hear that we lost the cat.
Personally, I didn't care very much for it.
Oh, good.
yeah,
I didn't either. I was just saying things for, platitudes.
Yeah, and you know, and your dog's very happy to see you. And then Paula kind of continues, recovers herself a little bit, and was like, "Yeah, well, ever since that day, we decided we couldn't pick up shop where we were at the farm. The soil got all black and it's weird anyway, so we decided to
no.
just keep on following the snake, and it left this trail wherever it went, but it always would seem to know where to catch the good meat. And
Is everyone from the village okay? There's no curses or anything from being nearby the snake?
well,
Wait, the snake can curse us just by being around us?
What do you expect? The tall lady was a priestess for this thing.
We had like werewolf problems and like crystal problems and people losing voice problems. Sean, I'll catch you up on it later.
Please and thank you. I just thought we were fighting werewolves and maybe a snake. There was no talk of curses.
It's about time things got interesting, because I've been telling you guys for a long time these things will eventually come.
now that you mention it, it hasn't been all easy going, and we haven't all made it in one piece. There was that boy of yours who you had a soft spot for. I remember. Don't try to deny it.
Oh,
Well,
tree and a boy kissing in a tree.
You know, for an old man, you behave like a 15-year-old.
Well, that's how you stay young, boy. That's how you stay young.
he
That's one way
a
to
couple
do
of
it.
weeks into our journey, and our nomadship, as it were, he started behaving real strangely, and I mean stranger than usual. He was always kind of, he was always kind of a jerk, but let's just say he started behaving erratically, and starting fights with people, and well, things.
Was he primal, or was he floating? Was he foaming from his mouth? What was he doing?
Well, he would fly into these fits of rage where he'd become completely unresponsive, and well, he ended up hurting one of the other men, and well, you can, and he kind of, she gestures over her shoulder towards a guy who's like got one of his arms missing, and he's just snacking on some mammoth.
They cooked it up real fast.
Yeah, they got a campfire going. Sun's going down.
You, the man eating, the one with the arm. Have you always been like that, or did the boy do it?
And he puts down his bowl of. They use bowls, okay.
Wooden bowls.
Wooden bowls, and rises to his feet and walks over and says, "Well, I wasn't born this way, if that's what you mean. Do we have a name for who your rival was?"
Skiff.
Skiff.
Skiff Higgins.
That's as good a last name as any.
It was that Higgins boy. Well, I'm sure you've heard the story by now. One night, in the dead of the night, he just turned on me. He said he was tired of this life that we'd struck up for ourselves. He didn't think it was the right thing to do. And I told him, well, did he have a better idea? For the good of the group. Well, I don't think that response did him any favors. He became very angry, and the ensuing fight, he ripped off one of my arms. And
how tall was he? And was he skinny, muscular?
Ripped off his arm.
How are you so calm about a human being ripping off your arm?
That's some Star Wars stuff right there.
I mean, lopping it off is one thing, hacking it off, but you're telling me this man came up to you, said, "Hey, Yank, this is mine now."
Let me ask the question. Was he skinny, and how tall was he?
I don't know what he did with the arm. He didn't stick around for me to find out. And he's as I'm sure Kree over here, and he gestures with one shoulder, remembers. He's a big man. I'm not sure how he did it. It was dark. He surprised me. But it was those kinds of. It wasn't even the first episode, if you will, but it was definitely the worst. And as far as anyone knows, the last. We haven't seen him.
So he's not around. He left?
Flew the coop.
So,
with your arm.
We could have possibly healed whatever he was cursed with if he was here still, but... now I got another quest. I hate quests.
Kree, have you been learning magic?
Oh! That was the first thing I did after I got back to the Resonite headquarters after my first mission, because I realized that was a problem. I got one magical skill already under wraps, and I'm still learning.
He looks back towards Paula and looks back at you and says, well, I don't know what you're busy doing right now, but if you ever found yourself available, we could sure use your help. And then kind of looks towards the rest of the group. And I don't know what your affiliation with these folks are, but they seem useful too. They were certainly useful with the mammoth. And then he gives a nod towards Virgilius.
Oh.
Tell me about this boy. You said he was not you said that he used to be skinny. And this was a superhuman event. There is a few possibilities. He doesn't transform into a bat-like creature or werewolf at nighttime, does he? Nor does he demonstrate any form of possession. Is that
Virgil,
correct?
I may not have the best memory, but I don't think anybody said the boy was skinny.
They said he was big.
Well, I mean, he's a farm boy. He's,
He's country strong. He's grass fed.
He's grass fed, like the rest of us. He's
beefy.
That Higgins
got
boy
bigger
was
head than
was
anything
big
else.
Boy, with a big head.
Did he behave like an animal?
It did seem like that at times. I'm not sure that he got any hairier than he normally is, but he became unresponsive and violent. He would fly off the handle at the drop of a hat, and I lost a lot of hats.
Classic madness, curse. Wow, words are hard after a nap like that.
And does
Welcome back, Jerry.
And do you see him foaming from his mouth at times, or having sharp molars?
Well, we didn't necessarily notice any details like that, but then again, no one's seen him since he ran off with my left arm.
How long ago was that?
That was about let's see, kind of looks up at the sky, sees that the moon's coming out, it's full. It's like, well,
Oh,
it was
right.
about one full moon ago.
So that's like a month, right?
Yeah. How far away were you from here?
Well,
Because you're following the snake, right?
well, as you can tell, the snake travels pretty fast. We've made some pretty good ground. We've learned to keep up, which, by the way, well, we better keep moving. Also, do you see this big bird?
Oh, about that. So, as a member of the Rezonite Order, I am currently on a mission given to me by the Order and cannot help you all in the middle of your struggles. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to or that I won't be able to find you later and help you resolve some of your issues. We got to figure out this bird thing because there's a big snake and it's kind of mixed in with what you got going on. Somebody else help, I'm bad at explaining.
I think if we handle the snake problem, the web will connect and it'll be okay for them. Better something.
Right, but we still gotta find a place for
Okay,
our
okay.
people to
So
go.
we need the bird first in order to solve the snake problem. We solve snake problem, everyone happy.
Well, yeah, she's
Sorta.
concerned with relocating her people, so we can fix that after we deal with the snake.
How about
right?
we have
Probably,
them join
maybe.
our party since we're going after the snake itself?
That's a lot of
Eventually.
people.
We can't risk civilians. And not to mention-
I'd rather they didn't.
They
And
are
not to-
farms. They are a free resource. You're going to turn down men that have lost their homes, lost their livelihoods to the snake. They're pissed. They're full of piss and vinegar.
Austin,
They're
do we
perfect
still have the
folks.
map that we got to give us
And listen right
to
here,
come to the ferry?
Sean. Are you
Yeah,
really
you
going
can
to risk
find
the
it.
lives of innocents who do not have the strength or the tools to deal with sort of creatures that we deal with on a daily basis? They are dog meat, ready to be eaten. We're sending them like lambs to the slaughter.
Okay,
If
I
none
don't
of these
really
should-
appreciate you calling my people dog meat and lambs.
I think we should let them decide.
Paula steps forward at Sean's remark, and she says, "If I may interject here, we've, like I said, we've been scraping by on the leftovers of this snake, but I should warn you that it would take something probably just as big as that bird to even make a dent on this guy. I mean, even if we wanted to help you, I'm not sure how we could. We've
Right.
we've scraped by learning the art of stealth and following it quickly and quietly. And
I'm so proud of y'all.
well, thank you.
But you need to rest. You got injured, you got old people, you got children. Here, I take the map that we were given to find the fairy tree, and I say, if you reverse our path, there is a village. Was it 2 days of travel?
It was like half day.
Okay, half day of travel through these forests. Watch out for critters, and tell them I sent you and that they need to put you up in some sort of encampment as refugees until we get back and square things away.
Make a charisma check.
God. Frick. But she's my coach. She should trust me implicitly. Okay, so D20 was 16. Charisma is negative D6. Oh, God.
Negative D6.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was a 5. So make that 11.
Uh-oh.
What was the D20?
16.
16 and 5. Okay. Can someone else chime in with So okay. So here's what she'll say. She'll say, I'm honored at this gesture, Kree. But as you can see, our people have been eating really well, and you can see that the people around like this roaring bonfire that's developed, they're like singing songs and passing around this surplus of food. And she says, our people have grown strong and hardened by what we have been able to accomplish here. How can we be sure that our existence with these fairies would be better for us?
Oh, it's not fairies. Oh, were you thinking I was talking about the fairies? I was talking about the village we came from with like the other knights and stuff. Like, however many, like 2 journeys ago.
If someone wants to chime in with that clarification, they can add an advantage die.
I have the most charisma, so I'll go.
Please. Get my people out of the way.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Your fair Kree has decreed that it would be safer for you to venture to a stronghold like no other. You will find food, shelter, and you'll also find education for your children, for they are your future. Do you not agree?
Hear, hear.
I roll my big old charisma die real quick.
Yeah. What was your roll, Kree? I already lost it.
It would have
11.
been 11 total if you take off my negatives.
Oh, that's why I had it as a positive 5.
Charisma and I don't go well together.
Okay. For my D20, I rolled a 14.
Oh, it's a D4 for advantage.
Oh, my fault. My apologies.
So we're gonna.
Here we go. Probably need a new pair of shoes.
Gonna need a 2 or higher.
Oh shit, that's a D4.
Hey, that puts us at 15.
Yay.
And Paula says, all right, well, maybe it'll be nice to not have to travel so quickly for a change.
And maybe actually get a shower. Yay!
Okay.
And she accepts the map and
Yay.
kind of takes it back to her people. And meanwhile, this enormous red hawk that was just kind of crashed onto the forest has essentially you can see where it was laying, at least where the head of it was laying. There's really just mounds of ash.
Oh no.
And you can see its beak, which is about the size of 3 people, roughly the size of one of those birds that had hatched, just buried in this mound of ash. But other than that, there's no sign immediately of anything else regarding the bird.
Well, more. I think that I try to bring pieces of the meat that's left over from the mammoth to it.
Good idea.
Just to see if I can coax it out of its ash little pile.
Can I make a perception check on this pile of ash and not dead, maybe dead bird?
Sure.
Is that a yes? No.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh, sorry.
hear you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So just roll it.
Yeah, it'd be a D20 plus whatever your perception die is.
I rolled a 7. I'm just not on my game today.
7.
You rolled a 20 the first thing you rolled.
That's true.
So,
Yeah. It was to figure
that was
out
all
that
the
we.
luck.
Yeah, that was it.
So yeah, as you're watching Sean approach the pile of ash with this meat, you don't see any ash stirring. The beak is just laying there dully, and after a moment, nothing comes out to take the meat. So yeah, it would seem that the Red Hawk is dead.
Straight up. Great.
Well, dead phoenixes are known to come back from the pile of ash, so we better be cautious around it. That's all I'm saying.
Make sure the heart is intact. Check for the heart. As long as the heart is in place. it
Is
should be
Penelope
fine.
still an owl?
Penelope is
Yes, I
back.
am.
if she
I am still
wishes
an
to.
owl.
How long are you gonna be an owl?
You, Oracle. Can you
I
make
don't
sure
know,
that
a
this
few
phoenix has
hours.
a...
Okay. Got it. I was gonna ask you if you had any kind of druidic skills that could maybe assist us with either assessing.
I can
or
check if it has
healing.
a heart. I like to check.
Well, we can try scattering the ashes. I mean, I can try flapping to scatter the ashes, but you guys will probably be more effective with your feet. Scatter
Oh.
the ashes.
As Penelope is scattering the ashes with her wing flaps, what would Virgilius be doing to check for the heart?
I need to check for the blood, so that way I need to check for blood. You know, if there's any blood stains, I can use a heat signature to detect if there's a heart pulse.
Yeah, you do see, as I mentioned, the soil is kind of like soaked with blood, but it's becoming, you know, yeah, there's definitely blood around. Yeah, I mean, I had mentioned that before. So, what would you do with that?
First, I would taste it, and then I would look. First, I would taste it because then the moment I taste blood, I can automatically detect if there's any pulse or if there's any sort of living or deceased creatures close to me.
Yeah, as
with
you
that sort of blood.
put your tongue to the sample, you do actually realize that you're able to sense that there's the larger source of this buried deep in the pile of ash. And as Penelope's wings are clearing it away, you dust it off. You see this mound, and it is the heart of the phoenix, but it is entirely charred in black to the core.
Ooh.
Did you say? Well, I just want to double check something. Penelope, just from player to player, you said that if we were to spread the ashes with our feet, it would accelerate the phoenix's revival. Is that what you were saying earlier?
No, I am hypothesizing that the more people spreading the ashes, the faster we can get them spread. That's all I said. And I'm just hypothesizing that would be effective. I don't actually know. I also wonder whether wetting the ashes would be effective so they can't heat up and revive the phoenix, but I am hypothesizing.
Do we want the phoenix not revived? I thought we had to talk to it.
We want to.
The fact that the heart is black is a bad thing, I think.
Yeah.
Can we do a?
That's
Does
not
anyone
how
have any
phoenixes
animal-
are supposed to work.
Does anyone have any animal handling history for that could be helpful to figure
I
out?
helped heal a cow in the first.
What I'm saying is a
Lots of
black heart.
phoenixes. Sorry.
We have to make sure that so far it doesn't seem like there's been iron that's been punctured through it.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Wait. What are you talking about?
Paula walks up to you, Virgilius, and she looks at this heart that you're holding. And she says, well, that looks like bad news. In fact, I wouldn't be holding that if I were you. In case it might be. If you said that you've been noticing some other curses going around, and well, we know that what happened to our friend Skiff Higgins, we might want to tread lightly here.
Listen to me, farmer. I've been cursed for 150 years. In fact, you can say I've been cursed from the very day I've been born. This is nothing new to me.
Well, fair enough, but the fact remains that Silserpo's still out there slithering, and if you don't have any leads on any giant creatures, you might want to rethink your plan.
Of course, we're gonna wait for the Titan lady to explain herself. Besides,
So Sean gets upset, grabs the heart, and
Oh.
chucks it into the bonfire out of pure frustration.
Of course you do.
Let's see if we can start this whole thing.
You need to stop drinking on the slide. Did you get
I
some
need
for
to-
my villagers?
you moron.
I might have slipped him something.
the campfire flares up in this giant flume, and the people spill back. Whoa! And some, the tips of their hair are singed.
Sean.
And moments
Rush.
later, the fire has been completely extinguished, and there's nothing but smoldering charcoal.
Is the heart there?
No.
Great.
So the heart was completely incinerated.
Idiot.
It
Is the
comes
body
from the
still on the
flame.
ground?
I was
Paula
trying to
steps forward
check
and
if there's
says, well,
any
to be fair,
punctures.
I don't think there was much going on with it anyway. What was the question about what's on the ground?
Is the beak still on the ground?
Yeah, beak's still on the ground. But it's
So that's
very
the only
big and
part of the
heavy.
body left.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick that beak up.
Oh god. Gonna do a perception check, are you?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna stick it in my bag of holding.
Oh God.
it's quite large. It's like the size of 3 people, so it would take a strength check to lift it on your own. And it
All
definitely wouldn't
right,
fit in
well,
your bag.
let's take this. Let's take the strength check. I think. See if I can even pick it up.
All right, go ahead.
Let me try it again. Rolled off my table.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's a
That's
nat
what I-
one.
Well, there you have it.
Well,
Yeah, it won't budge. It's quite a large beak.
Sprained my back. Well, so much for that.
I was gonna ask you to see if you could make some sort of potion or something out of the beak to see if
Well,
we
that's
could...
what I wanted to do, but they can't lift the dang thing.
Well, okay.
The moon is out, so why not?
Why not? What?
Yeah, what?
The the moon is when I have my most strength. Night, don't you understand? Why do you think I wear so much clothing in daytime? I can't stand the sun. It's nighttime. So why not give it a try?
Virgilius,
Okay.
you can make your strength check with advantage.
Yeah, so strength check is a d6.
Okay, so go ahead. First, roll the d20.
Mhm.
Let me know what it is.
It's 4,
Okay. Now roll the d. What did you say for strength? D10
6.
or d6? Roll the d6.
Yeah, it's 5.
All right, and now roll the d4 for advantage.
One.
All right.
Ow.
You're almost able to lift it. Does someone want to jump in and help him? Throw in an advantage die.
Hmm.
I am small.
That's fair.
I
I
was
and I have no strength advantage whatsoever, so this is not me.
He's almost
Give-
got it. You can see his shoulders are straining under the light of the full moon.
Give me a piece of the mammoth. Give me a
Okay.
piece of the mammoth.
I go over and like chop off a piece of the shoulder and
Make sure it's raw.
with the fur still attached and like hold it by the fur dripping and like stick it out like right in front of his face.
That's better.
I have now done things in my life I would like to forget.
All right, Laura, throw on a d4.
There we go. That's all I needed.
It was a 4.
Okay, that's the 14. You're able to
Hey!
single-handedly lift this beak over your head and onto your shoulders, and you feel like you could carry it for miles. You're feeling real good about this.
Yes, I feel rejuvenated. The moonlight, the mammoth, it's all so great. Let's get going.
Okay, I think we have a duty to go back to the fairies and tell them what happened to their god creature and check in on the babies.
Yep, perhaps they're gonna need to rely on a new protector. The baby.
Maybe they'll understand what happened to the Phoenix Hawk and what we can do about it.
I look up at Penny and shout,
Penny, could you be a dear and bring some snackies for the chickies? Penny.
Who's Penny?
No.
That's probably me.
Oh.
What do you want? More squirrel?
I don't want it, but the babies do.
Yes, do as she says, Oracle.
I
Could
feel
you-
it would be appropriate to find snakes.
Be a lamb and bring some more for them, please.
You mean be an owl and bring some more?
Oh God.
Yes, Oracle.
Ooh.
Whoo!
Yes, please
Well, I'll
be
see
an
if there's a
owl.
place where I can go hunt.
Absolutely. You're able to find plenty of snakes without much trouble during your trek back towards the tree. And
Yeah, nighttime with an owl.
just
around
as
10.
it's as the tree is coming back into view, I think
Hey, sing us a song of
that's
walking.
probably going to be a pretty good place for us to wrap up here.
I will sing next time.
That little ditty that you used to sing with your small folk. Hi ho, hi ho. It's off.
I will sing along.
That
I
is
will
not my
sing along
people.
in time. Hoo 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 hoo.
I love that song. Reminds me
so
of my
catchy.
younger days.
Unmitigated chaos today.
Hoo
Thank you,
hoo
Austin.
hoo 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 hoo.
We're gonna get tagged with trademark infringement, y'all.
Wahoo!
We're canceled.
That means we're doing something right.
Oh gosh.
I mean,
Wow,
look at
that's
Chicken
fun.
Little. He got canceled, and he was right.
That's true. That is true.
I'm gonna have to make so
Um,
many notes.
So I hope you guys found the character tracker helpful.
Oh, that means I get to make it 6 completed sessions today.
Yep, definitely increase that by 1 and hit that
Yes,
save
6.
button.
Did we get gold today?
Yeah. Oh, thank you for reminding me. That's gonna be averaged out by the that's the sum of the total skill checks divided by the number of players. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 6 of us. So that's gonna be our sum was 234, if you can believe it. So 234 divided by 6 is 39 gold pieces each.
Ooh, I'm rich. In the woods. nothing
Some
to
of
do
you have
with it.
been, jotting down what you'd like to spend it on and email, and I'll just shoot back like the exact amount. Cool. So
And then
yeah,
I get to level up a skill, right? Because this is my second session.
if when you increase the sessions completed to an even number,
Yeah.
when it becomes an even number, that's when the sliders will let you increase yours. Yeah, that's when you get another skill upgrade.
Okay.
Oh, so this is my 6th session. I can do that.
Yeah, and it should tell you if you're using the character tracker, it'll be like, if you're at number 6, then it'll say 2 out of 3 upgrades used.
Okay.
At
There we
least
go.
it should, if there are no bugs. I think we're all members here. I can give the coupon. If you guys are interested in Karen Strassman's dubbing workshop, that's coming up on Saturday, pretty soon.
Yep, I already signed up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, JC's already there, and I think more of you. Maybe I'm
Yeah, me. Got my ticket.
Yeah. Miss Larissa's there too. Let me grab the coupon code.
Sean threw it in the fire. I'm making that note.
Yes, because
Please.
that's what I did. You were taking too long. It needs fire to restart. From the
okay.
ashes rises the phoenix.
If you say so, we'll find out together.
That's what I remember.
Yes, but not if it has iron punctures. If it is punctured with iron, it is game over.
So what I did was moot.
I was checking to see if there was iron punctures. So since it didn't resurrect, since we didn't see the bird go tweet tweet, it's dead.
Yeah, it was moot.
So why are we angry at Sean for trying something different?
I can't remember.
Because we could have used the heart for anything else. We could have salvaged it for samples, for, I don't know, spells, for, I don't know, armor.
I'm just
Hey.
writing down who did what.
I say we use the beak for armor.
That's a
That's
good
just me.
idea.
We have
Just
plan
saying.
making for next time.
Always. I mean, the baby birds may be a little bit fiery, so make little mittens out of them.
Since we're all members here, I can throw in the discounted links here. So I just threw in a link for Karen's dubbing and demo reel production if you guys are interested in. I know JC's thinking about were you talking about producing another reel with Raj?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I think
Yeah,
you
producing
mentioned
a
that
reel
a
with
little bit last
Karen.
time.
Yeah,
Oh, you want to do the
producing a-
Karen reel? That's a different.
Yes, basically,
that's a different one.
basically either a character or accent shop. Basically, with Spaniard accent, French accent, Celtic accent, Italian accent, Slavic accent, and even variety of other accents as well.
Yeah, Karen would be perfect for that. That's a really great use of the demo reel directed by Karen Strassman. That link I just put in the chat will take you. This is all available in your members area too, but I know sometimes it's hard to navigate.
That's fun. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great use of that. I don't have I would drop a link to register for the next roleplay workout, but I don't have them scheduled yet. So I will do that. They will be starting next month. We're reducing them just by 30 minutes. So it'll be 5:30 to 7. But otherwise it's the same format. And since I don't have a link to that, I will just go ahead and throw in a link to the next community hub if you guys want to check in there. I actually won't be hosting that one. One of our interns, who some of you might know from before, named Scarlett. Scarlett will be hosting.
Who's Scarlett?
Find out.
Have we seen?
Find out
Scarlett
next
before?
time on Dragon Ball Z.
She's hosted before last summer, and she's back again helping us out. So she'll be actually hosting the next 2 of these community
Good.
hubs. So.
Are you taking a break? Are you taking a vacation?
How dare you?
I am. You caught me.
I'm so happy for you.
From us,
You deserve it.
refreshing. We're not exhausting at all.
I mean, this isn't work. You love this, you know? Do what you love what you do, never work a day in your life.
You're right. I'm gonna cancel.
Write a radio play, blah 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 blah. Do casting, give direction. Yeah, you love all of that. You don't need a break.
Make a charisma check. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, if you insist.
Yeah, you can use those the community hub. Let me make sure that one works. Yeah, that's just the same link actually.
Roll this.
Now it's just the same link. Oh, what's the roll?
It is a 6.
Sorry, I'm gonna change my plans.
I tried, guys.
My
I tried.
flights are non-refundable anyway, so.
Good.
True. I do that.
Well, this was really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed. And does anyone have any questions before we go?
Question for will Wendy Lee have a part 2? I actually enjoyed that workshop with Wendy Lee. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, we were thinking about it. We haven't really finalized that plan yet. I'm not sure, but I'm really glad to hear that you enjoyed it. Of course, the recording is always in the workshop archive if you want to revisit it. I can't confirm or deny that one at this point in time. We've got Karen coming up, anime dubbing. Then in August, I'm doing my recording and editing for your voice acting demo reel. If you want to get some recording practice in, and then going through the motions in your DAW. We'll be working on Audacity, and I'll show you some editing tips. Then after that, we have Creatures and Monsters with Karen.
That's
a
fun.
fun skill in October. And then November, we have Andrea Toya's casting director for a day.
If anybody has not taken that, take it. It's worth it.
Which one? The Creatures
Got
and
my
Monsters
ticket.
or
Really
Andrea
looking forward to
Toya's?
it.
Andrea, you will learn so many things about what is in the mind of a casting director.
There you have it, folks. I'll drop a link to that one since we're talking about it. Yeah, this is a reprisal of we have run this one before, and it was a huge success, obviously. That's why we're running it again. And you guys are all members, so I can use the fun link.
Ooh.
Yay, fun link.
And speaking of, I heard that, when I talked to Terry Hawks, I offered Terry Hawks if she wanted to help out with Strawberry Hill. She seemed like she was down for it. I can email you her Instagram. I talked to her.
Okay.
Yeah. The second voice of how say is of Sailor Moon.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember you mentioning that you had talked to her.
Yes, Terry Hawks, not Tony Hawk.
I mean, we'll take Tony Hawk too. Sure.
Tony could possibly be a voice actor. I'd believe it.
I wonder if he
He's
voice
been in
acted
movies.
himself in that video game.
He
You
probably
know?
has.
It's altogether likely. He didn't really have that much dialogue. He just...
Cool. Yeah, yeah. That'd be great if you could put us in touch, JC.
Yeah, it turns out he was in Cleveland Show. He was in Simpsons, Max Steel,
Yeah, he probably
And-
made a lot of cameos and stuff.
and yes, he was himself in Pro Skater 4.
Uh-huh. Believe it. When I found out that Mike Tyson voiced his own character in the animated series, that was when I was like, my world has been rocked.
When
I
Mike
had no
Tyson
idea, Mike.
met- when Mike Tyson met Neil deGrasse Tyson, best
Oh my
episode.
god. That was the
That was
best
his-
episode.
That was his brother. I was like, yes, this needs to be a thing.
All right, I have to hop off because I have a session at 8, so I have to get ready for it. I'm so sorry. Great working with all y'all. This
All
was
right.
fun. Thank you,
I think
Austin.
we'll call it on that note. Enjoy your session, Laura, and yeah, thank you all for joining us. Have a great week.
Thank you.
Have a good
Likewise,
night, everyone.
everyone.
Good night.
Thanks, Austin. Good night.